So good morning. Yesterday you learned about the masking technique. So we masked out the edges that form the painting, and we masked out the sun in the sky so that we could save the whites there. And we masked out the sailboat so that we can make a nice smooth sky without having to go around that. So the first thing I do when I get ready to do watercolor painting is I just take a brush with nice clean water and I wet each of the colors. I just go through and wet them. And that allows the water to start to soak up into these concentrated colors, and it makes it just a little bit easier to use the pigments. The next thing I did was I looked at the colors in my painting and I mixed them using the colors here. Try not to ever use things straight from the tray. Try to mix them to make them a little bit more natural looking. So I've got those things ready. You should also have a tissue or paper towel to help you absorb the water a little bit more and control the water. And then I have a nice clean flat paintbrush. You can use a round paintbrush, flat paintbrush, whatever you choose. So today is going to be the wash technique. And the wash technique means that the paint flows easily across the paper because you wet the paper first. So I'm going to wet the sky. You see I have just clean water just going across my paper. And give it a second to soak in a little bit. You don't want it to be shiny. You want it to be just past the point where it was shiny and no puddles. Then I'm going to take the colors that I need. I'm going to start our sky let me move this a little bit. Our sky goes from blue to orange to sort of a reddish orange. And where the blue and the orange meet, it looks a little bit sort of a greenish color, because when you mix the blue and yellow, you get green. And so if you mix orange, which is made with red and yellow, you get a little bit of a greenish color. So now that my color, the real shine is gone off my painting, so now I'm just gonna start to go across. You want to use a little extra pigment than you normally would because the water on the paper, the pre-water on the paper is going to make it a little bit duller than, a little bit more diluted than what you'd really like. So I'm gonna rinse my brush, move on to my next color in my sky. See, it's gonna start to look a little bit orange. I'm gonna go across with my orange color. I'm gonna put a little yellow in there. I see some yellow forming over here around the sun. A little bit over there. I want to go to more of a reddish color, so I mixed sort of the red with the pink there. So that is how you do a variegated wash. It goes from blue to orange to red, and the colors sort of start to bleed into themselves because you wet the paper first. Notice also there's no brush strokes. That's the advantage of wetting your paper first, so it's nice and smooth. So that's the wash technique. Do that in your sky, let it dry. And then tomorrow we will do, after it's dry, we will do the water.